Let's just talk about the Prime Minister and his plans for an annual cap on visas. What's your reaction?
I think this is a disastrous move from the Prime Minister, but it echoes the approach taken by the Labour Party and also Nigel Farage. Migration is actually one of the most significant contributors towards economic growth in any society. So I think we've got to encourage and welcome people to come here and to fuel economic growth in our country. Scotland has very low unemployment just now. We're short of people to undertake key tasks in our economy. So we should be welcoming people, not pushing people away, because that's bad for our economy. And I don't understand why the Labour Party, the Conservatives and Nigel Farage can't recognise that.
Do you not think it's because there is some appetite for it in England and Wales?
Well, I think what's important is that I put forward Scotland's case. That's what people would expect of me. And Scotland's been damaged by the anti-migration stance of the current Conservative government, which is going to be carried on by the Labour Party and which is egged on by Nigel Farage. So we've got to have an approach to migration that meets the needs of people in Scotland and that can contribute towards fuelling our economy to deliver growth and new opportunities in Scotland.
Now, I mentioned there that there was the Scottish TV debate last night, the first in this election campaign, and a big part of that was around oil and gas in the North Sea and the future of that. We know that Labour are not for new licences in the North Sea. The Conservatives are. You and I had a similar conversation just over a week ago. Can you say, or why can't you say, whether you're in support of new oil and gas licences or not?
Well, what I want to make sure is that we work closely with the oil and gas sector in managing the transition to net zero. The climate emergency has not gone away. If anything, it has become more vivid and more intense.
I appreciate that, but can we not just be... Why can't we just say yes or no, whether you're for it or not?
Well, the point's not quite as simple as that, because we've got to work...
Labour and the Conservatives are being clear.
We've got to work with the sector to ensure that we make progress towards net zero, that we retain the strength and the capacity of the oil and gas sector to contribute to our economy, and also that the oil and gas sector can make the transition to support our aspirations on renewables. Now, I've just announced hundreds of millions of pounds of investment in the renewables sector in the north of Scotland. Quite a large part of that is anchored on the constructive role of the oil and gas sector, and I want to make sure that's retained and developed for the future of renewables in Scotland.
Two polls now in the space of just over a week are suggesting you're going to lose the election here in Scotland. Does that effectively mean that the independence campaign will die with that?
Well, what it means is that we've still got 4 weeks to polling day. I hate to tell you, there's another 4 weeks of this yet to come. And we've got to put the argument to people in Scotland. I've been pretty open with folks that we face difficulties as a party. The opinion polls set a big challenge for us, and I'm out every day to make sure that we can boost our support and that we can win the largest number of seats in this in Scotland in this election, and that's what we're entirely focused on doing.
Final question, TV debate tonight, Sunak versus Starmer. What's your view on that, going into that tonight?
Well, my first view is that I should be there because I'm the leader of the third largest party in the United Kingdom, and you know, we're not living in a presidency, we're living in a parliamentary democracy, and we should have more than just the two Conservative and Labour leaders, because they actually agree on an awful lot of things and they want to do the same things: migration, fiscal restraint, all sorts of issues. They are the tight borrowing that's strangling growth in our economy. Labour and Tories agree on that. We should have a different voice in there, a voice railing against austerity, and that should be my voice.